What's going on, beautiful people? Like I said, we're here to stay back again. Episode 2, 2 more to go. We see Dacia's already flexing with the Dallas Cowboys. Y'all know we're going to get to the NFL talk. My boy Isaac is back. My boy Darnell is back. We in this thing. Week 2, fellas. How y'all feel about the first episode, man?
Fuego.
I'm going to jump in there. Oh.
Double Dutch.
Yeah. Like a freestyle. It's like, you gonna go? You gonna go?
Exactly. Hopscotch for niggas. Double Dutch for niggas. There you go.
Okay, we're gonna take that as a sign that we feel good about the first episode. What we didn't get to touch on in the first episode is a little bit of culture. So kicking off episode 2, we're definitely not gonna miss out on talking about culture. And I would say one of the things that I saw that actually caught my eye today was in the rap game, that boy G Herbo, Chicago native, buying back his elementary school, bro. Boys be talking about buying back the block, but I can't say I know of any rapper currently who has bought back a school that they used to go to. Like, that's legendary G shit right there. Like, that's like really triple salute to G Herbo. Like, Isaac, how did you feel when you heard that news, bro?
Man, honestly, it was inspiring, man, really to hear, because, you know, everybody knows rappers to be somewhat, or they got the, you know, mantra or image of being materialistic, or, you know, just being, you know, monetarily invested into, you know, bullshit like, you know, money, cars, clothes, hoes, you know how it go. But, you know, to see them do something positive and to sow a seed of hope into the community is definitely like a breath of fresh air, you know, to say the least. To see, you know, especially, you know, like with the message, you know, different rap entails, though an authentic message, man, you know, I can't preach enough on how, you know, actually being proactive in the community and doing something that's going to, you know, benefit generations to come, you know, so that's huge, man. Shout out to her.
Word up. Nah, I know, D, I know you was somebody who was like dabbling and like slowly but surely getting into like G Herbo's like music and his catalog, like, and you somebody also who like kind of like really tries to engulf yourself in like the culture and like what's going on specifically like in the hip hop space. Like, how did you feel about G Herbo?
Another thing that made music to my ears, man. I love seeing these artists be men rather than what they used to be, man. It makes me so proud, bro. Them seeing being fathers, husbands, you know, even being a child to their parents and respecting their parents, you know what I'm saying? And for him to go the next extra step, an extra mile to go and buy back his elementary and to do something positive instead of letting these corporations take over it, it's like, bro, these artists are actually getting it now. They're actually getting it so they can spread it to the future to where hip-hop is not frowned upon. It's actually looked upon with, you know, respecting everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I heard that, I was like, you know what, dude? I may not listen to your music as much, but that definitely encouraged me to listen to your music more and to not only listen to your music, but to listen to your lyrics and your message. You know what I'm saying? Like, my brother Edward explained to me that not every artist is going to be mainstream. You can't leave them out. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they're still doing miraculous things in the community. So I know, so triple, quadruple salute to that man. You know, hope other artists follow that trend.
And to piggyback off what Darnell is saying, bro, like, that's what I believe should be the protest. You want to protest? Put some money in your pocket and put your people on. I'm sorry. This is our podcast. Put your niggas on. That's what you need to do.
True.
That's the protest. Everybody, I mean, I'm not trying to knock the different types of protests there are, but for me and mine, that's just how I want to do it. Get a whole bunch of money and put my people in position.
At the end of the day, they just like, you know, that's what it's about. Like putting your money where your mouth is. It's all about action, you know. Because at the end of the day, you know, protesting and marching in the street, though that does, you know, bring about awareness, it doesn't bring about the physical and tangible change that, you know, people really want to see and actually reap the benefits of, like legislation getting changed, or actually, you know, like Herb did, you know, actually buying your elementary school and turning it into a multi-purpose center, you know, so kids will have something to do, you know, when they get out of school instead of go jump in the streets. You know, like a lot of inner city youth, you know, have the unfortunate choice to do, you know, like I definitely could, you know, speak to personal experience about growing up in a inner city youth environment and then, you know, making different choices and things like that. Man, it's crazy, bro. So to see her, man, hey, it's stupid real. Nah, for real.
It can chew you up, spit you out real quick.
Man,
I don't know how this stat will be able to like be found, but I think probably a stat only God would know is how many lives G Herbo just saved by making that small move and buying back that store.
Amen, brother.
Man, it was already written, man. This was supposed to happen. Like
feel
Drake said, man, it's God's plan for sure.
Definitely, man. Salute to G Herbo for that move, man. Big time, man. That's a little bit of taste of culture. You better believe we're gonna have a lot more coming.
Am I wrong to say that this is a Nipsey Hussle type move? Is it wrong to say that? No disrespect.
Oh no, that's exactly.
It
was a Nipsey Hussle type move.
It's not wrong to say that. It's not wrong to say that. Transitioning to the NBA, before y'all boys get going, like I said, man, we get to see immediately who was right or who was wrong with they take, because we watching the game as we giving y'all this podcast. So I am about to share a clip from last week that Darnell and Isaac had, kind of just going back toe to toe about, well, I ain't gonna tell y'all who it is or whatever, and we're gonna play this clip.
I have one question. Who in the hell gonna hold AD? Nobody on the Nuggets can hold Anthony Davis. That is a well-known.
Who's gonna hold LeBron?
And AD's gonna hold AD. And I'm gonna leave it at that. AD is gonna hold AD.
You gonna make these people take your basketball court talking about some AD gonna hold AD. AD gonna mess around and give you 30 for the series, and y'all have to be out in Game 5 going back out the bubble.
Hey fellas, so y'all heard that tape, Isaac. D, we love you, Darnell, because you our brother. So we're not gonna take your basketball card away just yet. But I'm gonna kick it to Isaac since AD proved him right. Isaac, how do you feel about Game 2 right now? Game 3 going on. How do you feel about the series thus far? And obviously, please start out with the game-winning shot against Denver by Anthony Davis.
The man is who you thought he was this whole time. He is who he thought he is. Period. He's the man that you would hope and, ascribe and aspire to be. I mean, the play really, LeBron James being the, vocal leader of the team, one would think that, okay, we're going to drop a play for Bron, especially with the 2018 playoff tear that he went on, giving people game winner after game winner. You would think, hey, let's actually go draw up a play for Bron. Let's get him off a curl or a quick pin down, to kind of orchestrate some open offense. But, sure enough, they ride the high hand throughout the night, which was Anthony Davis. Shock, surprise, surprise. Nobody could hold him. And at the end of the buzzer, you see him elevate over Jokic, for the game-winning 3. And to whom I think he spoke the word Kobe after.
Yes, Lord.
You hear me? You know what I'm saying? So, with all that being said, man, my prediction was right. I foresee the series potentially going 5. It could be a gentleman's sweep. I'm gonna go ahead and say 5. I'm gonna get a pesky Nuggets a game, just out of respect because they did knock off the Clippers, who everybody thought was the best thing since sliced bread, and went ahead and debunked that. Kawhi can.
I'll say this. Watching the game, when I seen it, I was rooting for Nurkic just because, he put the team on his back, though. You know what I'm saying? So, I wanted Nurkic to, get that win. That's almost it's not to the same degree, but just in terms of, feeling like you gave away a game when, J.R. Smith, blanked out and, I thought we was up. You know what I'm saying? It's then, you got Plumlee, who just you don't really communicate in that situation. So it's just I felt bad for the Nuggets because I really wanted Nurkic to get that win considering how much he balled out. But AD was on the tear. He was absolutely
man. And to speak towards the play to being drawn up for the AD, I heard in the post game interview the play was actually drawn up for LeBron. But how they played it, they played Bron to the T, and they were kind of attached to him real close.
For sure. I remember AD saying that, coming out of the timeout the whole time, he was just looking at Rondo and, they were just using their spidey senses to be
yeah.
Game, Kobe.
One of them.
What I'm saying? Darnell, we're going to get to you because we're going to let you plead your case.
Please.
Since we know you're a Laker fan too, so how do you feel about that game winner as well as what the series is looking like now as game 3 is currently going on?
Well, first of all, I'm going to be a real one and say, you called that man Nurkic for like the past 2 minutes, and his name is Nikola Jokic.
Damn.
Yo,
my bad.
I let him go.
Right, to defend myself, I really want Joker back. I really want him in Portland to defend myself. So that's why I keep.
You want Nurkic to get a championship so bad. I'm like. No,
hey,
we eliminated him already.
Nerd is love, baby. It's love, nerd. My bad, Joker. I fuck with you tough, Joker. I fuck with you tough. And that may not seem like it, but I really do. You my favorite big man in the league. And I credit that to my brother Darnell. So we're not going to take your basketball card for that. Joker. I still love you too, though, Nerd Dog. I love you too. But go, Dacius.
I think it's AD versus Nikola. I think that's what this series is pretty much come down to. It's LeBron versus the rest of the roster, and AD versus Nikola Jokic. And AD, we haven't heard nobody talk about AD. We've heard people talk about Paul George. We've heard people talk about, Donovan Mitchell. They couldn't do it. Luka Doncic was so great and he couldn't do it. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, all these people who couldn't show up. But we've never, ever had a tabloid where AD was not showing up. You know what I'm saying? And when you got LeBron doing what he's doing, and you have that, I just don't. Well, really, I'm gonna change it up because I called a sweep before, and I'm gonna go with what Isaac said. I think that the Nuggets will get one game because it's looking like it right now. So I still think that they could possibly sweep these guys.
Well, not necessarily, Dacius. You got to remember, at a time, Anthony Davis wasn't actually seen as a winner, right? Because he was thought to be this generational talent. Well, if you're this generational talent, i.e. LeBron James, you could even, lift the likes of even this dismal Pelicans team, at least to the second round of the playoffs, right? So, I mean, though the West was a difficult conference, but, he did have that mantra for a while that, man, he's a generational talent, but man, can he really, lead the team into the playoffs?
I think to piggyback off Isaac, I think a lot of people kind of like get caught in like because you sometimes think because we're all so like heroic basketball, we're all captivated by that, and because like Anthony Davis was never just like a heroic player in terms of just like, yo, he got his team to the Western Conference Finals with nobody on his team. Like you say, Isaac, you can mistake and be like, oh, he's not a winner. But players like that, they just need to be accompanied by another superstar. And when you're a great talent, but you've yet to have the opportunity to be put on the big stage with a team that can get you there, people can sleep. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the problem in how people view AD is like he had probably been waiting to make that game winning shot for so long in the playoffs on the big stage, but he never had a team to actually get him to that stage. And I think that's why we're able to see how well he's playing now. But to wrap up this talk, we are going to give it to Darnell, who I don't know how he feels about Denver. I know before the pre-production, you were saying you will feel okay if they at least lost 4-2. How you feeling about Denver right now, D?
All right.
He put the glasses on. The black Scott Van Pelt.
All right. So let me break it down for y'all, okay? Game 1, there's nothing to be proud of. Nothing to be proud of at all. Burnt out, 2 7-game series. It came back from 3-1. It's miraculous. It's beautiful. I expect them to get blown out. If the number 1 seed does not do that, there's something wrong. Okay? I give them game 1. It's a little disappointing the way it happened, but you can clearly see they were dirt tired. Now, game 2. Beautiful game, both ways. Hats off to those Lakers, man. Straight up. They came to play. Came to play, straight up. So with that being said, you expected a battle. That game-winning shot, that proved to me what I've always been saying. AD will beat AD. If AD comes to play, there's nothing you can do about it. All you can hope is you get the last shot. There's nothing you can do. He is a skilled player. But it's all on him. That's why they did that. They did that to prove my point. They did that to shut me up, period. They took that shot. So you know what? We heard about this guy in Houston, Texas. Better yet, even more direct in Conroe, Texas right now.
The man
he said that. Listen. Bro, stop it. Stop it. Come on. But you get the idea, though. You get the idea. You know, they heard about your boy saying, you know what, they talking down? Let me show this boy came to play. And that's what he did. He showed, like, you know what? This is the AD you're going to see in the playoffs. And I respect that. But you are not about to sleep on this team that has come back, that doesn't know what quit means. That's one thing you will not do on this Nuggets team. Now, I told before the podcast even started, in a professional way, I will say Lakers 4-2, but in a fan sense, 7 games. You know, which means that 7 games means definitely the Nuggets, in my opinion. And as a fan perspective, not as a realist sports analyst, the way they're playing, I would have to give it to the Lakers. But the fan inside of me is saying definitely Nuggets in 7. That's my realistic possibility as a fan. So overall, bravo to game 2 to the Lakers. That's what they're supposed to do. I'm all about what they're supposed to do. If you don't show up, what does it even matter?
Okay, now your card is on the line. You telling me Nuggets and 7 again? Hey man, that Cinderella shit is
Isaac. I am going to give you the disclaimer because you gave it and you said as a fan. You specifically said that as a fan.
You baited me.
Definitely. He wasn't on the analytical X's and O's. So he said strategically and specifically as a fan. I give you that. Way to cover your ass, my brother.
Bro, it happens to the best of us. We all have our realistic, and then we have our A, bro. At the end of the day, the stat sheet and the players are there. You know, it is what it is.
Speaking of trying to be realistic with a fan, right now we are motherfucking goddamn 0-2 with the Texans, and I didn't tell y'all this. Me and Christian talked earlier on the phone, and he had a bomb to drop about his take on the Texans. And we know he came in last week kicking crazy stuff, talking about Bill O'Brien, but he had a bomb to drop. I don't know what it is. I told him to save it for the podcast. So depending on what it is, I think on the behalf of Houstonians and Houston Texans fans, if he say something outright, it is our jurisdiction to get on his ass. But he may say something that we agree with. We don't know. I tell you, Christian is a wild card. So we're about to bring him in and get into the NFL and see what's going on and see what's on Christian's mind.